This season I wanted to tell a story, a fairy tale, very modern and contemporary, but very poetic and romantic. I've worked on the contrast between the poetic and romantic side of feminine sensibility and the other side, a dramatic attitude. And I tried to tell this story evoking an amazing garden with these four natural elements where the woman can choose to unveil herself and to tell her personality. The first element is the earth, and I've chosen the flowers because the flowers are probably the best way to tell the sensuality of women. And in this case, I've used very architectural lines and the sensuality of suede and different colors just to evoke this three-dimensional effect on the shoes. The second one is the fire, and I use the flames just decoration for the cowboy boots, but viewed through a surreal filter, so they look like over-the-knee stretch boot, a little bit different from the traditional cowboy boot, so it's a surreal cowboy boot. The third element is the air, and I've used the butterflies just to translate this idea of the elegance, of the lightness, and the sensuality of a woman. And in this case, I've used the color and the structure of the wing of the butterfly just to create this emotion. And finally, the water, where I've used the scales of the siren just to evoke this aquatic world, very sensual and very feminine. For sure, in each story we can find the Sergio Rossi touch. We have the pure and perfect design with this stiletto heel, which is a surreal stiletto heel, very perfect, very sensual in lines, and also in the wedge heel of the cowboy boot, because you have the perception of a wedge, but it's a heel. And looking at the back of the shoe, it's very thin, very sexy and feminine. And honestly, I try to translate this heritage in every story, in each piece of this collection. I have in mind always the Sergio Rossi's woman, and it changes continuously every single season. But in this case, I wanted to talk about a very feminine, graceful woman with this attitude, because I think that the grace of a woman comes from the ground she has, the culture and the education she has. It's like a filter. Using this mask, you can look at the reality and it changes completely, so you have a different scenario with different shades. Craftsmanship is everything. If you look at every single shoe, it's expression of this craftsmanship. It means skills, it means heritage, and Sergio Rossi is probably one of the best brands in the world to communicate this high level of craftsmanship in Italy.